Rising Education. This week, I'm updating the project website, inviting residents to share their own stories, memories, reflections about Tiburon Shoreline and our changing relationship with the Bay. You'll also see an article appearing in the Nob Hill Gazette this week featuring the project, and I'm exploring additional opportunities to share Tiburon's story through outlets such as the ARC and other community partnerships with support of the city and commission. One thing I've come to appreciate over these last 6 months is just how deeply people care about Tiburon, its shoreline, its history, and its future. And my hope is that the Artist Laureate program can continue creating meaningful opportunities for people to engage with these stories through art. I'll return at the July meeting with more complete update, including a project framework, kind of a roadmap I see for this first year, and opportunities for the commission to give feedback as we continue to shape it together. And thank you again for your support. And I look forward to sharing more next month because I'll be able to be here too. Thank you.
Thank you, Krista.
Thank you.
Do you have anything, any public comment? Okay.
All right, well, let's get to the chair report, and I'm going to start my chair report by piggybacking on Krista's public comment, because Krista and I have met and have spoken a couple of times since our last meeting, and I encourage everybody to check out the website, and once the Nob Hill piece comes up, please share it with us, Krista, when you have a chance.
Sure.
Wonderful. I will say that I think it's important that we support Krista, and in doing so, maybe in July we might think about creating an ad hoc for the commission to work with her in order to try and implement and gather volunteers. I know volunteers is the topic of volunteers is on our agenda today, but I think it's important that Krista, who is very busy and is contacting and her wide network and really getting the word out. I think it's a really great opportunity that we don't want to miss during her tenure as the Artist Laureate to really focus on her work for the Shoreline Project, which perfectly ties in with Tiburon as a peninsula and our own needs and concerns. So I will say that I think it's important we put that on the agenda for the July meeting, so we can give you as much support and kind of have it a little more concrete and structured than it has been over the last few months. Okay. Now on to other things. I will say that the installation for Word on the Street with Scott Froschauer went very well, seamlessly. There were no issues. We had one person from Public Works, Javier, who was amazing, and he and Scott just spent, one morning and an afternoon just putting the signs in, and they got a lot of attention from people who are passersby, who are interested, and I encourage you all to do the walk. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Scott and the project, and its different ways that we can engage the community with the project on our agenda later today. I know that we didn't get the response we thought we might for We the People. I don't know if that's a sign of the times or whether it was just because we were a little bit late in putting that together, but we do have some pieces, and I think that's also on the agenda today for ways in which we can kind of capitalize on it over through the month of July. And with that, let's go to the consent calendar. Yeah.
Is there a motion?
So move to accept the minutes from March 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Or a second?
I second it.
Okay. All in favor? Oh, is there public
Aye.
comment on this particular item? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, you were going to abstain? Oh, you weren't at the meeting? Okay. Thank you.
I wasn't at this is for May 26th.
March 24th.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. And now we move on to the first of our discussion items. Yeah, go ahead.
So, as you can see from the agenda, this is the item that has the art attached. Oh, there we go. Thank you. It's like magic. Adrian Arias and I have been in contact with each other. He was supposed to come here to look at the site on Monday. However, he has been so busy with all his projects that he was not able to come. And so he's now scheduled to come on Tuesday, the 7th at noon to meet with me. So if anybody else wants to come, you're welcome to do so. The way that I got Adrian was just happenstance. I was at Salt and Pepper and Eddie Madrill walked in. And so we were talking about art and he said, oh, got the right person for you. This is his work and I think it's absolutely fabulous. So that's basically it. He's set to come in August or September. August, yeah. Yeah. So it is amazing.
I looked at his website and he's really versatile.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He crosses a lot of different aspects of the arts, so very impressed.
Yeah. He does a lot of projects too that involve, on-site experiences and things like that. So it's really fabulous.
And how long will he be here?
The month, he's only got a month. He's extremely busy. Yeah, pretty sure. So I would love to have the rest of you who haven't seen it, just look through all those different, like he's got performances, community projects, poetry. I mean, he's just a very versatile artist and it just seems like his art just touches you at a very, in my mind, at a very cerebral level in some cases and at a very heartfelt place in other cases.
Agreed.
If you go to performances if you can. Yeah, let's try the first one. Yeah. Yeah. This is during pandemic, so it's a little different. Maybe go to one that's more colorful.
I guess we'll find out we have enough room for his work.
Well,
Some of it seems,
We talked about, what he wanted to show. He wanted to know if we wanted to actually vet his art. And I said, if you want us to, we can do. We've got artists on the panel. He said, she says, I'll do it myself. So he will curate his own art for us. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think so. But I mean, he just seems like he's doing so many things all at once.
so what might we need to discuss under this issue?
Well, I'm going to meet with him, like I said, on Tuesday.
Mhm.
So we would need to discuss is just scheduling for everything, for the banner, for the reception. So I told him that would be installed like the 1st and then the open to the public right after that. And then normally we do it with the 2nd week after the installation, I think is how we do it.
It's set for August 11th. For the second? That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll double check with him when he.
And we all have that, that sheet, right? That gives us the, how many weeks out we have to do everything, you know, for
Yeah.
getting the artwork to,
Right.
so Nora, you can always, refer to that
Okay,
and make sure that you get the, you know, the image that he wants for the banner and, you know,
right.
send it to
Oh,
him.
absolutely. Yeah. And
Get
then
it
we
to
have the,
Marissa.
so, the,
And the
article,
arc.
the
and
article in the
arc.
arc, right? Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about all that. It's just that we needed to have him come.
Go look at the calendar and just kind of, are there any dates here? Maybe if you can pull up the lights again so I can see because I'm blind. Thank
Let me
you.
just double check.
August hang date, remove date, reception date we've got for August 11th. Mhm. Yeah, it's up to him, but it's just the hang date and the remove date, and I should be around. I can certainly help you with any kind of installation.
Thank you. He's coming on Tuesday. Okay. Okay, that'd be great.
What do you think? Are there any, do you have any dates in mind for?
Uh,
Well, you're seeing him on the 7th, so that
Yeah.
gives us time, but
Exactly.
maybe as soon as you find out, you can send that to
Mhm.
Marissa and then you know,
Yeah.
I'm happy to help out if you need.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay,
So short and sweet.
great.
Can I make a mention about the calendar too? For the next lower exhibit, it could be September, October, and part of November, since Reed can't come in until after the Thanksgiving break.
We ready to, Nora, do you have anything else you want to
No,
say about this? Okay, well, great find. Thank you, Nora.
thank you, Eddie.
And thank you, Eddie. Eddie is going to come up again later this meeting, I'm sure. The second discussion item, call for volunteer help during events. We are in need of hands and help. And so this is a small discussion item where we can kind of brainstorm as to how we might put the word out. Hint, hint, Francisco. You know, to get volunteers for some of the events that we're putting on. And I know that we have as another discussion item here, rather action item, the Native American Arts and Culture event. And we'll definitely need some volunteers for that. So does anybody, I'll just open it up. Does anybody have any thoughts about how to communicate the need for volunteers and of all ages? Maybe we can also count on high school students and Del Mar students as well to help.
That would be a really good idea to get them involved.
But these volunteers are for the reception?
Whether it's the receptions or the events. So thinking like back to our recent receptions, I physically can't carry 6-foot tables and set them up, but I was here alone doing it. And like we were doing that at Shoreline Park, hauling things there. So I think just having like a guaranteed extra set of hands available for our events coming up on these calendars, so that the person appointed isn't like just the one person or
Yeah.
second person. Maybe we allocate budget for staff to help us.
Staff, or maybe it can be like kind of an ongoing internship or something like that for a student, you know, an able-bodied pair of high school students maybe.
Yeah.
Who we have a small stipend who can be there on call, you know, kind of like on retainer or whatever, to help us with whatever we need help with, you know. I think
For
that could be kind of an interesting thing.
That's
For
a
the
good
4th
idea.
of July event, we have hired a great kid that grew up here in Tiburon and works for the ranch and does kind of all kinds of stuff. And I'm gonna see how it goes on Saturday, but he might be a really great option and, you know, just on a case by case basis, if he's with his availability.
Okay,
So that's one option.
that's a good option. Yeah, Nora.
I don't know how much you want to pay, but I do think the idea, because we do have money, of paying kids is a really good idea. And because the ranch has so many young people that they work with as counselors for the day camps, I would suggest reaching out to them.
And many of them are local students too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I found this person who's helping me on Saturday. I just called Jessica and asked.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Arjun? Oh,
Maria, go ahead.
yeah. I'd like to find out how many events we're doing in a year, and I would like to have a projection of calendar before we ask for volunteers. And so maybe we could, at the beginning of the fiscal year, we have some idea. And as far as using students, that's great. My son long ago put up soccer nets for $10 an hour, and that was great money then. Now maybe at least 20 or 25, and doesn't matter. But we also need to be careful in hauling and moving things that they're not injured, and that is not going to be a liability for the town.
Yeah.
Where will it be, all these we're talking about, all these events? It just depends.
Well, it depends. I mean, you know, for example, Nora has the reception coming up on August 11th. Now, I don't know who will be here or who will not be here over the summer, but she might need an extra hand or somebody to help with the installation rather than another commissioner if we're not here.
Yeah, big correction. I just found my email. It's September, it's not August.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, could be, that's
Yeah.
a big
Could we,
change.
go back? Okay, revisit?
Before we move on, can I just say?
Yeah.
Mine is all that we're getting from the serving alcohol. that
Kids can't have. Yeah.
Somebody over there.
Yeah.
But it's not that I don't trust the kid, but other influences. I don't think-
Mic's on. So just ideally, the vision, I'd like to see us go towards developing an internship program where kids actually signed up and had an allegiance and served as our ambassadors, and that we also get their input and their vision, long-term vision. In the short term, of course, if we have trusted resources that are working out well within the community, then that would be the first choice, would be to use somebody that's actually either living or working in the community. So now I'll turn the floor over to, I guess, Nora, so she can
Yes,
finish.
correct. Yes. So what we're talking about is hanging on August 31st, which is a Monday. Having the
that's
exhibition
it.
start on
Great.
September 1st. Running, because I remember we talked about this, that we were going to use July for the red, white, and blue event. And then August, we still didn't have anybody, and September is the only month he can do. So the art would run through September 30th. The art would come down on Thursday, October 1st, or both days, possibly October 1st and 2nd. And as for the reception, we usually have them on the Tuesday of the week after the art goes up, which would be September 8th. Which makes sense because I'll be in Canada in August.
September 8th is the day after Labor Day. Is that an issue?
It's not for me.
With the artists, because I know last year we did,
We discussed all these dates,
oh,
but
in September, okay.
That might be a nice post-Labor Day event. Okay, so the hang date is now the August 31st. The removal date is October 1st. It's all through the month of September. that leaves us with October. And Liz, you had mentioned, did you say something?
Reed can't come in until after Thanksgiving break.
Right,
So that gives us a gap in August and October.
in August, right?
Would he be able to keep his work up in October? Or
I can ask, but I know that in terms of his own personal availability, he's only available for September.
yeah.
Okay, well, maybe that's
But
a
he'll
question
share
for him.
on
Yeah, if when you see him on Tuesday to say, we don't need you physically
who-
present in any way other than at the
Any-
reception. But if you can, it would be great to have your work through October as well.
Okay. Will do. Thank you.
Okay. Well, getting back to our discussion item, Marissa, maybe when you have a conversation with your contact at the ranch, I think I fully agree with Trish, you know, that clearly at a reception event where there's alcohol served, we don't want a high schooler. But
I believe he's in his 20s.
But exactly, if there is, I'm sure there are college age or, you know, older, you know, people who are willing to chip in and help out. And maybe, you know, maybe we can do a combination where you have a child, you know, a younger person who's doing some things that are not, you know, involving alcohol in any way, and an older.
You check it.
And an older
Oh, it's not very easy.
Well, actually with alcohol, isn't it a law that the young ones cannot be in the same place where alcohol
Well,
is
for
being
example, like
served?
for a
No.
Native American event, if we have a craft table, there
Yeah.
might be kids that are interested
Yeah.
in volunteering and helping at a craft table.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful ourselves how we.
And
handle
we
this.
do have receptions where families come with their children, you know, and wine is being served.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the about on the topic of alcohol, if we're gonna, and I could see where, like I was told I couldn't lift anything. So it would have been helpful to have a volunteer lifting the wine, carrying the cases, removing them, cleaning the glasses afterwards where the wine, you know, getting, storing the wine, that sort of thing, you know, just around, they're around it. I see us pouring it, or just acting as the hostesses,
I think one of us should be there.
supervising, but just
Supervising
lugging,
everything.
lugging tables and boxes and heavy things.
Chairs around.
Yeah, yeah. In addition to other exciting things that we can create for the internship. And my other point about, I know we're very interested in internship, and I just sort of remember, and maybe we could check with Greg Chanis. He said something about internship and hiring them, and it makes a difference on employment and all that with the town. So maybe we should
Oh.
clear with him.
Or maybe,
When we have an idea.
do we need to maybe set up a meeting with Greg then, at some point before the July meeting, perhaps?
Oh, I
Or-
think we should have an idea to propose to him, see whether it's possible and he could work something with us if we have a specific internship.
Let me have a casual discussion with him and our human resources manager before the July meeting, and then we can make an action item at the July meeting to move forward based on their recommendations.
I
Sounds
think
good.
an internship is separate from the call for volunteers.
Yeah,
I'm talking about somebody who can like haul tables, set up umbrellas. I can't do it.
Yeah,
Like,
that, I don't have
I
any
can't
problem
lift
with that. I
wine
could
rack,
use some help
but
too,
I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
So I need.
carrying the
That's
wine
what I'm
and,
saying.
and
Yeah.
the tray of glasses up and
Exactly.
down. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, Marissa, we'll just wait to hear from you in terms of the ranch as with regards to the volunteer, as she just made this distinction. And we
She's
can-
making the distinction of volunteer, it does, whether it's volunteer or a hired, someone we've
Yeah, yeah.
paid $20 an hour
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
it does-
yeah.
Yeah.
but someone who's a schlepper versus somebody who might be interested in an arts
Arts
internship
internship, yeah.
for college resumes and that
And
kind
that
of
needs to be thought through a little bit
Yeah.
further anyways. That's good.
'Kay.
Sounds good. Okay.
That is an excellent idea. Mm.
Okay, discussion item number 3. Yeah, future public art and visiting artist policy. Nora, why don't you introduce this topic and we can open it up for discussion.
Okay, so this has come up because we have had artists, both last year and this year, that have asked for payment for lodging and, transportation in some cases. And then I think one time it was also to feed some of the, volunteers at the installation, on the mound south of the knoll. So I think the best thing to do would be to find, I mean, I think we need to, among ourselves, have the discussion of what we think is appropriate and not appropriate. And I think also to know from Greg if there are any limitations on money that we put out for these purposes, i.e. when a proposal comes before the town council, does that proposal need to encompass every expense? Or can there be expenses later on that we simply exercise our own judgment about? I don't know the answer to that, but it seems to me that the proposal should be all inclusive. So there are different sections to this.
Okay, well, I did a little bit of research on this topic. And I looked at the largest not-for-profit art grant funding organizations that are out there, not including the NEA, of course. What I found was the largest and pioneering organization is called Creative Capital, which was formed in 1999. And Creative Capital is sort of the, it's provided over 250,000 artists since its inception, with grants totaling over $55 million since 1999. Their policy is clearly stated. And this is a policy that the organization implements with local organizations like ours. If we were to ask for a grant from Creative Capital, this is what they would tell us. When an artist is invited from out of town, event organizers pay for travel, lodging, and can also provide a per diem, especially for artists who are invited to create a scope of work or for purposes of installation. That is the policy. It says these costs are separate from artists' commissions, fees, and project costs. Typically, they range between 5 and 10% usually of the total cost, but that is with regard to the size and the scope of the project and where it's happening and where the artist is traveling from. So it's not a set amount, but typically organizations that invite artists from out of town pay for their accommodation, pay for their travel, and that includes gas if they're driving, and their lodging. So that's the policy. I looked around at other organizations. It's the same thing. When you ask an artist from out of town to come, you need them here. And in order for them to complete their project and you are paying for that project, that also means that you have to pay for their accommodation. It does not mean that the artist puts that in their proposal. The proposal for artists' projects and costs are separate, and a line item for their travel and accommodation is a separate issue altogether. And that has been the custom since 1999 at least. And the reason why it started in 1999 was because the NEA scaled back funding for arts organizations across the country, and Creative Capital stepped up and was formed to bridge that gap to help artists and with grants. So these are the people who work with grants and with municipal, state level organizations to fund artistic projects.
But that does not, so Creative Capital, is that a nonprofit?
Yes.
Okay, but I'm talking about government. I'm talking about a government.
Yeah, you can. I also looked at other towns as well, and my sister is on the Culver City Artists Council. They do the same thing. I'm sure there are some towns that don't, and maybe I don't know what the breakdown is. If there are more towns that do, more towns that don't. But I'm looking at artists organizations, and we, the body, the Heritage and Arts Commission, is an artists organization. Ultimately, that's our mission. And so I'm taking my guidance from others who say that the reasoning behind it is that if you have somebody from out of town, in order for them to execute and implement that project, you need to pay for their travel and for their lodging. And that's just typically what's done.
I get what you're saying, but from my perspective, as someone who's worked in municipal government for over 20 years, I think it's important to know what sort of authority we have over money that we are basically asked by the town. Because we don't just approve it ourselves. We have to bring the proposal
Yeah.
to the town council, and they
Sure.
need to know what they're approving. That's my big concern, is they need to know what we're.
And then we can certainly say, if there's an artist coming from Los Angeles or an artist coming from Boston, we can estimate that the travel costs for a plane ticket for, whatever date will be this. The lodging at the Tiburon, the lodge at Tiburon will be this. And we can certainly bring that. I have no problem with bringing that as a separate item, but it's not incumbent upon the artist to put that into their project proposal. It is incumbent upon us then. If you want that, I'm happy to do that. And I think none of us would be uncomfortable with adding those costs to a project.
I think, from my experience, that has been the normal standard practice. As far as the expenses for the artists and all of that,
Yeah.
it's operating, how you get this to fruition, to the actual installation. And as far as asking the town council, we are proposing the actual project, and that's what they're approving. They are not, the other is supplementary
Incident.
well, some maybe not incidental, but yes. And I think it's, and has been done, it has always been reported to the commission, and at that time we could either vote for or against. I think that's good enough for me, that I have a say, I have a knowledge of what is being spent. And sometimes artists are different. This time they didn't have volunteers, whereas last time I trusted, my fellow commissioners. They had to run out quickly because of a hot day. We bought a couple cartons of water for the volunteers as they were installing. So I would like to have that flexibility and trust my commissioners from making those small operational expenses. And I'm happy to, support some kind of understanding among all of us that if it exceeds $300, it needs prior permission, something like that, or 500, and I really don't want to get involved to become a travel agent saying that, per diem, the artist gets this and they get 2 breakfasts and 1 dinner, all of that. So I'm happy with the current situation. I think everyone in the 2 projects that we have, I've been notified of the expenses and has fallen within our operating budget.
Question? Wouldn't it be or could we in the future disclose it in our overall budget as a line item? And that would be something like artist travel costs, and we could base it on 5 to 10% of what we intend to spend. Whether or not we spend it or not, we've disclosed it on the budget.
Like we said, 300
Transparent.
per
Yeah.
reception.
Yeah,
But-
we may not use it. We may need more,
Yeah.
but at least it's
See, we need-
disclosed.
We could have that line item, having line item in
Yeah.
the budget. I think that would be good enough for me.
That sounds good.
Again, from my perspective, and you guys can do what you want, but I feel, again, because we don't have independent discretion to just spend money. It is money that has to be approved by the town council. I think it would behoove us to, at least in the abundance of caution, to run this by the town manager and possibly the town attorney.
So are you proposing that we ask the town manager, are we allowed to do this? Is that what you're asking? Okay, well, we've done it twice already. There's precedent, but I'm happy to do that. Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not
no, I'm
sure
happy to do
that's,
that.
I don't think the town council
good
has
idea.
approved a budget. And I think they trusted us for doing, they haven't asked us how much we spent
Exactly.
on the reception.
Yeah.
We have not gone to the town council.
And all of our accounts,
Fine.
all of our accounts are transparent and available to any
No,
town council
I
member.
understand, but this is something that we've only done twice, i.e., to my knowledge, the two events have been the one with the installation on South of the Knoll and this last one. In no other event or for no other event, do I know that we actually paid for transportation and lodging for anyone?
I have been
What-
the
what-
commissioner for a long time.
I understand.
We always did.
You-
We
you paid
always
for
did
it.
for, if it was necessary, for transportation and lodging. Recent ones, you remember, I guess since you've been, but it was done always.
I mean, I kind of feel like you're looking for a problem that doesn't exist.
I just
Exactly.
don't want to, I think if you're spending money.
problem
it's
that
it's the
doesn't exist.
town's money, right? And we have a fiduciary duty, then there's got to be a policy. It can't be willy-nilly, for this guy, we're going to do this, for that person, we're going to
It's
do
not,
that.
it's not really, it's for out-of-town artists.
I'm saying to you, I think that there need to be guidelines. There need to be guidelines so that it's really clear that we. can
What are the
operate.
guidelines that you're proposing?
It could be a percentage, it could be capped, it could be whatever it is. It could be if for people that are flying internationally, we don't cover international flights. If it's domestic flights, we'll cover domestic flights. But you can't just have this, thing out there.
Then Nora, why don't you draft the guidelines, that you would like to see in place, since this is your concern, and we can take it up at the next
Yeah.
meeting and we can
I
discuss it.
really don't want more guidelines. I like what Trish has said, that we put in the budget, and I think we should have enough confidence among ourselves as
Yeah.
commissioners that we could make those
And-
decisions.
And we,
Want to
But
be a
this
travel
one-
agent.
yeah, and we also have the trust of the town council.
No, and also each time it's different. So maybe in one case that the expenses would be 2,000, 1,500, other case 500. It depends. And each time we would look into it and, decide. This is the whole idea we are here for.
And part of the quality of art depends on the artist. For instance, a while back, we were looking at the British artist, Bruce Monroe. And if he should need an international flight, it might be a lot more than the gas or whatever, the hotel
Wait,
room
what
that
else
we're
is-
paying. But it's certain, value and
The
our
profit we don't
decision
have.
on what the commissioners,
It's-
at least a majority would like to do. And I think that has to be public. It should be reported in a public meeting on what we spent.
Marissa, if we were to, draft language around this topic, where would that language go?
I think it would be the guidelines that you as the commissioners would use to approve a certain project or approve.
So it would be in the public art, that document?
Yeah, you could amend the public art policy.
I like, personally, I think Tricia's leaves both the most leeway and flexibility, as well as I think it meets the standard of trust that is required of us from the town council.
I agree. I think Trish's suggestion of making sure that it's a line item that people know that we're going to
Yeah.
be spending money
Money
under
on-
that
on this,
category.
on these costs.
I
yeah.
think that's good enough guidelines.
And again,
Oh, sorry, since I was just referred to. And I did make those comments before Nora spoke. I think we could do both, possibly. We can do everything that we've all just discussed and we seem to concur, but I think there's also no harm, no foul in understanding guardrails and having a green light, and if what she's kind of developed and they say there's really no need for that, we trust you. We don't need to see that, then I'm comfortable
Right.
with it.
The only fund that you need town council oversight on is the public art fund. You have your general fund, which has $15,000 in it as of tomorrow, and your special projects fund, which consists of all the commissions and donations that you get from the art exhibitions. So those two funds, the commission has the full trust to spend as they see fit and agree to spend. And then the public art fund is where you do go to town council and say, we've got this artist, we want to do this. And maybe that's where the travel comes from, that you decide that's what you want to spend that money on. And then maybe it is two proposals where it's, here's the proposal for the art. And then additionally, we'd like to allocate $5,000 to travel and other miscellaneous expenses and let town council make a call on that. And then
That's only if we want to spend that 5,000 from the art the town's public art fund.
Public art
But
fund.
if we want to spend the 5,000 under our regular annual budget, then we don't need it.
It's up to you and you just direct me on
Yeah.
what fund to pay it out of.
And I would just caution, I don't think we should put the guidelines in changing the public art policy because
I
the
don't think we
guidelines can
should.
change all the time and the policy has gone through with the attorney and passed by the town council. And I think whatever, we should leave that as is unless we really review the entire policy.
You can.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Nora, if you want to, draft notes or points that you think are, reasonable, I mean, I don't see, I agree. I mean, I don't want to spend, money on an international ticket for somebody to fly in from Beijing or something like that, but I don't also see that as something that's really foreseeable in our case. So if you want to do that and you want to put that as a discussion item for the next meeting, that's fine with me. And we can talk about that, but I think, at least in the main, we can also create an action item that says that we will disclose, an estimate, either a percentage or an estimate of costs for, travel and accommodation for out-of-town artists that are involved with, public art projects in this town.
And we have never been asked for it.
Never.
It has never been mentioned because we are fully trusted.
Exactly.
And if we have something over our budget that we cannot, then we can offer it and ask
Sure.
and see what they decide.
Yeah.
to do.
If we decide
They
that we
say
want to
yes
get,
or no. That is the time that
Right.
they can tell us whether.
what's the circus,
Oh,
what's the circus troupe in Montreal, that plays in Las Vegas? I mean. So, yeah, if we want to get Cirque du Soleil in, I mean, yeah, okay, I can, go and ask for more money in that case, but I don't see that happening.
It's not that. It's just, I think there has to be uniformity. Oh, there has to be uniformity. There have to be guidelines. You can't say, well, so-and-so.
For every visiting artist in the last 5 years, and there's been 2,
Right,
we
exactly.
have had,
We've only had 2.
we've had uniformity for both of
Right.
them.
So
Both of
they-
them, we've paid for their accommodation, both of them, we've paid for their
Okay.
lodging.
Again, we need guidelines that says for artists coming from,
No one is asking for guidelines except you.
I'm sorry, I've been a lawyer for too long and I worked for the city of San Francisco for too
I
long.
understand that, and I mean, no one from the town council has raised this as an issue. Now, you're welcome to go and try and, raise it as an issue with the town council if you want, I suppose, but I'm
You like-
I'm saying,
you-
if you want to draft the guidelines, draft your guidelines, we'll take a look at the next meeting, and then we'll decide where to go from there.
Like to practice your law in there. Yes, go ahead then. No, why don't you do this?
Okay. Any other comments on discussion item number 3?
And if you could request public comment on any of the discussion items.
Oh, yes.
Sure. Any comment from the public here or online?
Seeing none.
Nobody ever does. Is there anyone online? No. Nobody ever does.
Let's move on to action item number 1.
I'll give you a little background on why this has reappeared. I was reminded that at the last meeting, the We the People was a discussion item and we never took action on approving that that's what you wanted to dedicate the gallery to. So at this time, you can consider approving dedicating the lower gallery to this exhibit. And then potentially, I've been asked by some of the artists if there's going to be a reception, so you guys can discuss and decide whether you would like to do that.
Well, now that we know that Mr. Arias is coming in September and not August, maybe we can, create a rolling submission for this exhibition and just try and fill up the space in the lower gallery with wonderful, artwork that celebrates the 250th anniversary of the birth of the nation. That's what I propose as an action item, as one part of the action item is to extend from July through the month of August. Maybe we can, again, put the word out once more via the website, via our social channels, and possibly through the ARC as well.
And your own networks would
And
be
our own
really
networks, yeah.
helpful.
I will say that I failed miserably when I went to my children who unfortunately did not have any ideas or inclination to contribute to this. I have some ideas, but I didn't have the time to do it, unfortunately.
I would
Honestly,
like to second that motion to extend the, We the People.
at the event itself, we could do flyers, right?
We could do flyers.
Yeah, on July 4th,
Uh-huh.
at the event itself.
Yeah.
We could,
Well,
Advertise
there
it.
are some July 4th activities I know that the town has planned at Shoreline. I'm not going to be here next weekend, but maybe we can quickly take that flyer that we have, modify it, and
Put it
can we
on
work
some-
with the town to distribute that flyer at that Shoreline event, do you think?
Are there volunteers on the commission that will be attending that event that will pass out flyers? I will not be in attendance.
I'm not here.
Is there anybody from the town council or town who is going to be there?
I am unsure of who is attending.
we need to.
Jolly is July 4th. Jolly would do it.
Do-
Jolly might be available.
I have a question. Are any of the businesses putting up flyers about this event?
Oh, yeah, they're, because they all have their own activations going.
I know. that.
Jolly, you could do it.
I mean, you're welcome to, I do not have the availability in my schedule to hand out flyers. So if
No,
I'm happy to make flyers available to you guys to pick up tomorrow. We're closed Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
So I'm happy to put together a big stack if someone wants to come by and pick them up.
All we need to change
Oh.
is the deadline, right? And just say, it's a rolling submission. And then also the duration of the show going to, August 28th or
I'm
something.
happy to make that update and print a stack of flyers.
That
to
would be
picked
great.
up by.
I can
April
pick it
15th.
up. I can pick it up.
Okay.
But I can't distribute it, but I know that I'm just looking at my phone here because our Del Mar Neighborhood Association did put out a PDF about the events that are happening in town, and maybe I'll see if I can kind of reach some of those people, and we can, that's one channel to get the word out clearly, especially with the most,
Yeah, I can give you a quick rundown,
Mhm.
just sort of, can I go on a tangent here? Yeah, okay. Of what's going on in town. So at 4 o'clock, there's a pooch parade. People and their pets will be, and their well-behaved dogs will be gathering at Shark's Deli and marching up to Arc Row and down Arc Row and then down Lower Main Street where there's a photo booth in Fountain Plaza where you can pose with your pooch or your friends. And then at 5 o'clock, there will be live music in front of Main Street Merc. The various merchants have activations and food specials and grilling, and it's a community street party. Lower Main Street will be closed.
who's doing the music? I mean, who's,
It's a band called Gas Money.
but is it diversity? I mean, which
The town council is hosting this
town
event
council is hosting?
and the chamber is helping. So, and then up on Arc Row, there will be a mural painting activity. We have a local artist, Laura Palmer, we're going to repurpose some of our vinyl banners,
Cool.
like an H&A banner actually in the back. And she's drawing a fun graphic that says Tiburon USA with like sharks and stars, and kids can come and color in
Nice.
and sign their names and whatnot. So that's going to be a fun, so we could put maybe a little sign on her thing because those are the artists in town, right? Painting the mural.
Yeah,
And there's face painting, and it's going to be a really fun party. And then people are encouraged to go sit on the green and watch the fireworks.
does the chamber have a little stall? Do you think that, do we know if the chamber has a stall or?
Drop off some flyers to Melanie at the chamber, and
Okay.
Yeah, but
Um,
the other thing is that the chamber, we do have our own website. So we could see about
we-
putting it up on the website.
Could we use that banner for our art installation? Like once it's
oh my
complete?
gosh, that is the best idea ever, because we're making two, and we're gonna hang one on the side of Town Hall and maybe move. I think I have a vacancy at Blackie's in a couple weeks, and so it'd be fun to put it at Blackie's, but it also could be cute as a centerpiece.
And the kids could come back and be like, I colored that. Okay.
That's very
Great,
good.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
the event is one channel, and then there are other channels that we can use to try and continue to get the word out. And again, let's all try and talk to whoever we know that might be interested in submitting
Don't look at
something.
me.
Jale. I have a really cool idea for it, but I just
Say.
don't have the time to execute.
What
That's
is
the
it?
problem.
What is it?
My idea is kind of like the artist Carol Walker, she does like these silhouettes, and like I had this idea, which I could probably get it together. I'm gonna be in Napa over the weekend, so maybe I'll work on it there, but it's like a black and white thing where I'm not gonna give it away. I mean, it's a cool idea.
You want to copyright it?
Well, it will be copyrighted because it is going to be a work of visual art. Yes, it will be copyrighted, but you have some thoughts?
The deadline for the
No,
submission?
I would encourage all the commissioners to contribute their emotions and thoughts on a work of visual art for this show.
Yep, let's get
Okay.
back in. Yeah.
Question.
Yes, Nora.
Because we are talking about We the People art exhibition. When does the next Tib Talk come out?
It just went out today. The
Oh.
next one is coming out the 17th, whatever 2 weeks from yesterday is.
Okay.
Is there a deadline?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Is there a
And-
deadline for the submission? Because we're just going to say it's a rolling submission till when?
Till we have 50 of them.
Okay.
We got 50.
So it might,
Anybody, everybody, we the people.
The RSB ICB, and I know 10 or 15 of them have been in touch wanting to show their work
Yeah.
here.
There you go.
Oh, maybe.
All right.
put the,
That's why I'm confused by, there's so many artists who want.
I mean, it's not just for art, it's more of a kind of it's for artists, but it's also for anyone who wants to, celebrate the anniversary, the 250th, the sesquicentennial. Yeah, they're,
Artist, but is,
That's what I'm preparing
Yeah.
for, that instead of like artists. call out.
but I don't think we would turn anyone
Oh.
down.
yeah,
Jale has a couple pieces.
yeah,
Everyone
nobody,
else has a
we would
piece.
never turn anybody away. That's the whole thing. So,
Open
I'm
to
doing
all.
it.
but why don't, when you redo the flyer, send it to me and maybe copy Krista, and she can also share it with her vast network.
ICB. So I think it's maybe you guys following up.
Okay,
on that.
okay.
I know they're waiting to hear.
Oh, yes.
It's on the agenda today.
It's on the agenda. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
the
Well,
flyer is important, maybe.
that's the next item. So why don't we
Right,
go?
well, hold on.
Yeah.
Reception.
So a motion was made to extend the show through August.
Yeah.
Commissioner Fong seconded it. We haven't taken a vote
Vote.
Comment first.
and public comment, which just did. So, and I'm seeing none online. All in favor of extending the show through, or of dedicating the gallery for the month of July and extending to August? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Do you want to have a reception? People have been asking me.
I think we should.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
think we should.
But maybe at the end of the month or early August.
early August, when everyone's back from.
That sound right?
Yeah.
Because we don't have any receptions between now and then anyway.
We do have.
July
one,
14th.
Tyler.
Upstairs, Tyler.
Upstairs.
August, you had set August 11th for a potential downstairs reception
What's
date. It's on.
August 11th.
August 11th?
So would somebody like to make a motion about hosting a reception downstairs?
Anyone?
I won't be here.
I move that we host a reception for all artists contributing to the show. To hold a reception for them on August 11th to celebrate the sesquicentennial exhibition that they're holding.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Moving on.
Okay, that's cool. August 11th.
All right.
And maybe Marissa, before we do move on, maybe you can also, as an added, incitement, say that we are holding a reception for all artists who are contributing to the show on that flyer as well.
I will add that to the flyer.
Okay.
You have directed staff to
Thank you.
add
Thank
it
you.
to the flyer. Thank you.
Yeah, the day, yeah, then the hour and.
And I will send the flyer to all of you, including Krista and everybody, so that you can send it to all your friends and loved ones and family members and
Yeah.
That works.
I'll post it to Delmar
There
Association.
is a reception in July.
Action item number 2,
Reception in
Oh, it's
July.
on.
Tiburon Peninsula ICB Artists Group Show. We have some links for artists, and we have an exhibit 1. This is you also have it as a hard copy here, folks. Exhibit 1, there's the layout. This is looking really good. Excited about this. And we have
I can pull up the websites.
yeah, there are four artists, correct?
Yeah.
Lori Meyercord, she lives in Belvedere. She has a studio at the ICB. And she's going to be creating a series specifically for this called Leap. That she did a video on Instagram about it, and it looks really cool. That's her work. Tell her style. Oops. The second artist is Kate Solari Baker, who is actually Lori's studio mate. She also is the proprietor of Lark Mead Vineyards.
She lives in Belvedere.
Yeah, I believe is she on Corinthian Island, I think? I'm not sure. Yeah. And then we have Marina, is that how we say it? Marine Strage. Here. Very cool, very bold.
Mhm.
And then we have Bree, who is here in the audience with us today.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Do you want to talk about your art at all? Do you want to say anything?
Bree was my contact, so I brought her here and introduced her to Marissa.
Okay. Well,
And we were trying to have the artists, local artists, if we
Mhm.
can.
Thank you, Jale and Azita, for your work on this project.
Actually, Jale did all.
Jale, thank you.
She didn't need
And
any.
Bree, thank you for coming. It's nice to meet you. And we're excited to have this show finally. It's been a while. We've been talking to the ICB folks to get a group show together, and this is great. It's looking wonderful. So the action item then is,
To approve this group of artists and just confirm the reception date would be September 15th, according to what you previously approved. So it's just approving that this is going to happen.
and I don't see any other conflicts on that date with the town. There's no, that's Tuesday, correct?
Yes.
We should all be here and back to work,
Back to pouring wine.
back to pouring wine.
I hope in our new.
New glasses, which we'll have to
outlets.
showcase at some point. Well, Lee, since we have you here, my question would be, you've seen our very sophisticated hanging apparatus and stuff. Is that suitable for you and for the other artists? You don't need any professional additional help or work?
My career is exhibit design.
Oh.
Museum curation.
We're very lucky to have you then.
I've seen it all. So,
Okay.
but no, it's a lovely gallery.
Good, great. And certainly, by then we will also have people, maybe even a volunteer from the ranch, but I should be on hand to help, with installation as well. And I know Jolly and Azita will probably.
Yes, I will be available if you need.
There are 4 of us, and I think
Yes.
Kate is the hardest person, I think, to schedule, and I said I would hang her work.
Okay.
Just a
That's
series
great.
of drafts. What she's,
Ah,
anyway, oil pastel.
And the layout, tell me about the layout. That was something that the 4 artists collaborated on and considered, or is that your vision or?
It came up a little fast that, that we did this, so I took the lead on it.
Yeah.
But Lori chose that spot.
Okay,
Talked to Kate about that, and then Maureen is actually in France,
I see.
and this was all going down during the heat wave, so I think she's good with what she has.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, it looks wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks great.
So I make a motion.
A second.
And all in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. I would
Aye.
like to get some
Public
public comment first. Anyone? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Great. I did. Okay. The third action item is consider hosting another event to celebrate Native American arts and culture in collaboration with the Diversity Inclusion Task Force, similar to the one that we did last summer, which was very successful and super fun and had a good turnout. I would think that we would be calling upon Mr. Madrill
Well,
again.
as
eventually.
that's an excellent segue. I have called upon Mr. Madrill. I spoke with Eddie in person and also over email, and he proposed that he could organize it, pay all the dancers, get all the people, MC it, and he would charge $4,000 for his services, but that would also include all of the performers or dancers. I don't want to use, I want to use the word dancers. And then anything else we wanted to put on top of that, we would find the budget for or propose to DITF to partner with us on that.
And I'm just gonna put this out there. Last year, we did have 1 or 2, I think, performers or speakers who came from far away, and we did reimburse them their travel costs for coming a long way. I think it was from like Northern California or something. So are we all comfortable with doing that again?
It's de minimis.
Okay, thank you. And then we also had a free taco truck last year.
Eddie thought that was brilliant. He said it wasn't something he would have thought of or done, but he said it was brilliant and amazing and was such a good idea. So
Did
we
he
could
give,
include that in the budget again.
I think we should. And did he include, I thought it was brilliant too. Did
Thank you.
did he mention a date or?
He said he is available anytime. So this is to consider approving an event date range. You know, do we want to do October?
I think the
late
fall would be a good idea.
And then a budget and possible partnership with the DITF.
That gives us plenty of time to work with DITF
Mhm.
and
They're not meeting again until August, so we can
okay.
put together a proposal and you can look at it at the July meeting. You guys can flesh it out between now and July, and then
So he right now he's thinking that $4,000 covers his dancers and his fee. But we had, you know, some other folks participating last time. Maybe you know, we can revisit some of them and then between now and then take it to DITF in August with a proposal.
How much was the food? And I do have a question.
We have all of
This-
that somewhere.
And I just have a question about the procedure. How did this event become an action item? We never had any discussion about it. And we just had this last year.
Mhm.
And is this within the guidelines of paying $4,000 from our operating budget? Or is this $4,000 from the public art or what are we?
It's not the public art, and I don't think it was taken last year from public art either.
No, I don't think it should be from
Yeah.
public art,
we
but
don't
I'm
have
just
enough money.
wondering, where did we? pick
Special
that money
projects,
from?
maybe? It was
Is that
special-
from that $15,000?
yeah, it was split between the general fund and the special fund. It was mainly came from the general fund.
And
And
the bulk of
how-
it was subsidized by DITF.
It was,
I
I
believe
wasn't
it was.
aware that we
Yeah.
did anything with the
Still pay the
ITF
4,000.
last year.
And we got a grant, that's right.
Yeah.
we did.
Last year we did.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sorry, what's your question?
Well, maybe in the future to follow up on Nora wanting guidelines, that might be good. And public knowledge is that we have a final report of exactly what we have spent for an event.
Yeah,
and
I'm
that could
happy to
be- yeah.
provide that,
It-
at the
that,
next
that could
meeting.
be kind of our guideline maybe going forward. And-
Last
Where the money came from. and
Last
how
year,
we spent it.
last year you spent $5,000 out of the general fund for this, and
Mhm.
DITF contributed 6,000.
That's right.
And we still have 10,000 in the general fund. How much?
15,000 for the
15,000,
fiscal year
okay.
that ends June 30th next year.
Fiscal year, so that's pretty good. And I think we did have a grant as well, though, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Are we
from-
doing this every year? The same?
Yeah,
I
that's-
thought we
that-
were trying to get a variety of,
We are
Oh,
trying to
there's-
get a variety, but I think there was also some discussion that absent a public art or a temporary or, even a permanent public art project that acknowledges the contributions and the heritage of the Native American population in Tiburon, that this was an event that celebrates that fact. And that we were, there was some discussion, I know, amongst commissioners about continuing that very highly successful event in some shape or form. Is it going to be exactly the same? I don't think so. I mean, maybe that's something that we can also put on as a discussion item is, how do we, because now we're starting to collaborate a little bit more with DITF on some things, like we did the AAPI, we worked with them a little bit on the AAPI week.
We the
all-
people, how about with the people, we the people, we're doing it.
Mhm.
And maybe they can be part of that,
DITF.
the idea of.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we could put that out, but that's going back to an earlier discussion item. Yeah, but that's a good idea.
Now that we sort of have hearings on what we need to know and what we'd like the public. This one, sorry, it's not good. Okay, now it's all right. So could we get a little more info? Because it seems like it's jumping into it, but we could also make improvements or,
Yeah, I think,
that-
I'm happy to talk to Eddie. He's a friend of mine.
he was great. And then I think last year, we didn't have any coastal Miwok representation.
Mm.
I thought maybe we could try a little harder to get someone here.
Sure.
Because I think some of them were north in Ukiah and then I
But
don't
we
think
had,
Eddie is of
No,
the same.
wasn't
Anyway,
Henry Coastal, wasn't he? No, he was Pomo.
no, yeah,
You're wrong.
but anyway, it's just my
Okay.
suggestion,
I'll-
discussion.
Yeah, I'll broaden it out and then we'll put this on the agenda for the July. I'll speak to Eddie in the next week or two and then we'll put it on for the July to kind of like narrow it down a little bit and get more clarification on what the event actually will consist of.
Yep.
Yes.
I agree completely with you that one of the most, I guess, important populations in this area and all across the country was the indigenous peoples. And so there is no other way that that group is celebrated, acknowledged, or in any way, mentioned here. So we've got through DTIF, we've got the Persian New Year, we've got Diwali, we've got Juneteenth, and AAPI. But the Native Americans are nowhere to be found. So I think when you're looking at that selection, that this more than anything else deserves recognition. And so I think it is something until we can get something concrete. We had that sculpture that was brought before, but that had some serious issues with it. But I mean, we've got of course, we've got the mural, which celebrates the migration of the Azorians and their contribution to this peninsula, but none of us would be here, if it hadn't been for the American Indians and the native tribes. So I strongly support repeating this event.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Well, you should see my work.
I
for
agree.
We
I
the
also agree.
People. I'm,
Fact, it was after the statute and working with, chair. It's not on, I don't know.
Comes on and off.
It goes on and off.
I'm gonna.
Thank you. It was working. It doesn't work. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Now it's really loud. I'm absolutely in support of this. And as a matter of fact, it was after our rejection of the questionable statute that we thought it was really important to have something to celebrate. So absolutely support this, but I would like to be able to expand on it and see how we can get more details on it.
I also support. Yes, I think it's important to do this event again, actually every year if
We
possible.
could also, yeah, I think we could also make this an every year and put
Yeah,
in the budget.
Like the other events as
And
Nora mentioned.
yeah, for heritage, maybe
Yeah.
something specific regarding heritage.
Well, maybe we can take that idea and we could put that on the discussion item for, there can be an action item and a discussion item. And I think in the July meeting, we can certainly create an ad hoc committee to, move forward with this project for October.
Yeah, and maybe a proposed budget for everything,
And-
including events and,
Yeah.
and all.
And I'll add that I did speak with our artist laureate about a tie-in with the shoreline in terms of like the past and the future. And Krista, maybe you can it would be great to have you involved also as we move forward with this particular Native American event to, I think that would be some really interesting, connections and synergy there. And certainly I'm happy to introduce you to Eddie, who just completed his PhD actually on, I think he had some involvement with archaeology also. So, I'm sure he'd be able to have some kind of informed comment and ideas about how to move forward with it.
Bring some of the artifacts or have another archaeology talk about the history.
It's possible.
This, for the record, I'll have to go back and look, but there was a wonderful presentation on KQED radio. And it was involving exactly that, what the shoreline looked like when the Indians were here and how the, migration or I guess colonization by the Spanish and everybody that came after has changed the topography. And they're talking about shell mounds and all of that. So it was fascinating. And they had an expert on that, which you should connect with. So I'll have to look it up.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So did we? All right, well,
Frame it.
yeah.
Okay. This,
I move that we commit to an event celebrating Native American arts and culture for this fall with a budget of an estimated budget of $4,000 from our general fund in partnership with the DITF and our friends in this community to host this event in October.
I second it. I second it.
Comment?
I was louder.
Do we have any public comment? Okay, I'm seeing none online as well. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you.
One last thing, just for the record, October 3rd will be the Tiburon Wine Festival.
Oh,
Not on October 3rd.
not October 3rd. Okay, that's a good point. Okay. Action item number 4, Scott Froschauer, word on the street. Discuss potential future activations with the artist for the length of the exhibition through December and consider setting a budget for related events. I spoke with Scott about what he has done in other cities and towns. And you know, he's worked with various local organizations, hiking groups, biking groups, you know, recreational, you know, clubs. And clearly, in our case, we have a bike path. We have this, you know, sort of stretch of 2 miles. And I, I looked at what other folks have done around art and biking and hiking, and there is something which I wasn't even aware of called, because I'm not a cyclist, the Big Art Loop, which is in San Francisco, and there are sculptures, you know, dozens and dozens of sculptures. It's really cool all around San Francisco. It's by the Sid and Karen Sijbrandij Foundation, and they are the sponsors for that. And I thought it might be useful to, you know, speak to them and see how they did what they did. And I mean, on a much smaller, simpler scale, maybe we can also, you know, create a website or do something which brings attention to our bike path and the word on the street installation there. There's also the Tam Velo Club. There's the Bay Area Cycling Meetup. There are meetups as well. There's the Larkspur All Marin cycling meetup as well. And Larkspur Walkers, Ted's Hikes. There's a lot of organizations, and I'm happy to talk to Scott and have him do the outreach. I think it's much more powerful coming from the artist. But I'm happy to support him in any way to create a few events. I don't know if, I think Scott is a cyclist himself. I don't know if he would want to come up, but that can be something that we can discuss. And at that time, you know, we can also consider whether we need a budget to help him come to support one or two of these events. I think it would be great if we could find a way for the Chamber of Commerce, perhaps also. Is there a tie-in with the kind of treasure hunt component that's here? You know, driving visitors to local businesses for maybe some kind of a discounted coffee or, you know, or a sticker or something like that. Scott has a lot of merch. There's a lot of merchandise. You know, he's got stickers. He's got little miniature versions of the signs. I think he's even got T-shirts. You know, he can really do anything. You know, maybe we can, you know, all think about that. And at our next meeting, we still have through December. At our next meeting, I would love to have a discussion item where members of this commission have considered some ideas on how to maximize the word on the street show and how it ties in with our community, with our businesses, with, you know, tourism to Tiburon, you know. And I'm happy to talk to Scott as well, and I will take notes on what he says, and I can present those ideas with regard to things that he's done elsewhere at our next meeting. Victoria.
Before
Okay,
he
no.
started,
Once again, I just saw this calendar. I guess some of these ideas of the bike art loop, which I think is really a good idea for this particular exhibition, should be September or October, and that I just don't want to have too many events at the same time. The other thought was that I thought at the post meeting where you and Liz made a proposal, some of the commissioners from Post made some very good suggestions regarding connectivity between the downtown and restaurants. I don't want to listen to the tape, but maybe you remember some. I just can't remember, but I know they had some ideas that were kind of good feasibilities.
When Scott was here, we talked about, my son was in a biking buddies after school. It's like a new program through the ranch. And so potentially there could be a tie-in with the ranch. And then a few of the Reed teachers have expressed how much they love the project. And I know that Scott really does some school programming too. So maybe there's a tie-in with, the Reed School District in the fall when school's back in session.
And at the end of the day, there could also just be like a regular, bike group that just every Thursday does the loop, and new people can come. And that's not something that we necessarily have to be present or involved in, but, we can just put the word out to some of these organizations, which I'm happy to do as well. But I think the school tie-in and and you're right, the post ideas are ones that we can certainly follow up with.
Is there any possibility of tying in with a special program with the rec department, for after school activity or something? And
To talk to library.
well, library doesn't do that program for a group, not necessarily, but
Want to,
that I don't know. I just don't think their programming is that way. But that's my thought. And then my other thought is that maybe Scott could write a sort of like a general form letter talking about his art that we could send out to like the Larkspur walking group, or it could be put into the age-friendly email letter from Corte Madera, and also send it to like Mill Valley Art Commission. Maybe they have some ideas, and just sort of publicize it and see what might come.
To surrounding.
Yeah, just and it could be a letter signed by Scott, and with maybe he could design some nice flyer and with his letter saying what kind of art it is, communicative or conceptual, and
And I'm also not opposed to reaching into our budget to create, a little advertisement piece for the installation and for the town that we can place in the Chronicle as well. To get people from San Francisco to come out over
Pink
here.
Sheet, because that was featured with the Thomas Jackson. It
That's
was
right.
reviewed, yeah. So anyway, that's the publicity part.
I have a question. I was wondering if we have considered maybe getting some of the Scott Brescher pieces for like staying in town after his exhibition, to keep some of it.
Yeah,
To keep some of
yeah,
those.
that was part of his proposal, and we can certainly go into that at the next meeting. I mean, he did say that these are all up for sale and that, it's
Yeah.
I
possible.
think it would be because
You want to
the-
buy one?
well,
Yes.
I wouldn't want to buy
Yeah,
one,
we
but
could-
I want it for town, yes.
Yeah.
We could discuss about the pricing. I don't have the room for anything else, and certainly not a big sign.
No,
But
the
I wouldn't-
signs are for the streets.
I know, but I wouldn't mind
But if you-
buying the
Mark, you can
little,
donate.
the small one, the small H&A sign on the bottom as a memento.
I think we could get there. But so I don't know if this action item actually is so much of an action item as because I don't think we have set a budget until we understand exactly what we're going to do. So I say we just punt on, a motion at this stage and, continue our research and fact finding on this and then put it on the agenda for July. The final action item. Public art review and consider the proposal submitted by artist Nikki Adani for a temporary installation. Charlie, do you want to talk about this? I
okay.
think there is
I will just.
there is a proposal. And maybe we can put that temporary
yeah, we
proposal
have
up.
To put it all on so that we can see.
It's
I
also-
have had a chat. We were going with Arjun, this talk with her, but Arjun was too busy. So I took it upon myself to call her and talk to her about it. She She's a local artist and she is very well known. Her work is really beautiful. And I think it would be loved by everyone around here because we are all bird lovers around here. What she was worried about was we were taking too long in our opinion because she has a donor. The donor is going to pay fully for this project, whether it is permanent or not. So we really need to make a decision if we want to go with it so that she will be talking to the donor can wait. But if we don't do anything about it, the donor may disappear, and that is what her concern is about. We have 2 proposals from her in both ways. And as far as our policy goes, I read it all. It doesn't mention we need another or art call or something on our projects. Everything is done by Heritage and Arts. It is our choices. So please take a look at it.
Question. What's the difference between A and B, Jaleh? The A and B options?
One is temporary, one's permanent.
Oh, so do we have to decide tonight that we want it temporary, permanent, or can we give you a vote?
Well, the thing is that we are all, if we agree in it, with it, then it will go to town council, it will go to post.
Okay.
It will take a little time to really get on with it. But the thing is, we don't want to lose the donors' money because they are paying for it.
Right.
I'd like to make a motion then. I move that we vote in favor of this artist, this exhibition, and that we fine tune any additional information that anybody might have as we go forward. But directionally, I'd like to make the motion that we support that going forward with this.
For clarification,
Secondly.
before we vote, is the donor willing to do both? Either the temporary or the permanent?
Well, according to her, she said that he will pay for both. If it is temporary,
Okay.
after the show is finished, if we don't want it to make it permanent.
Okay, so that's an
The
option.
donor will take it, put it in his own property.
And Jolie, may I ask, these are 2 pieces, yes?
Yeah, there are 2 pieces and she makes them so that the air and the air doesn't corrode it. And I asked her if they are permanent, if they are not permanent, could it be, if we decide to have it permanently, can it be done
What is she?
easily? And she said, of course, that can be done quite easily.
Okay, so the next question I have is, I know maybe it's my opinion, I think that the temporary installation on south of the Knoll would be easier to get through than the one that is proposed for the Tiburon Ferry Landing. I don't know, but because we've already done stuff here.
That's true. That's
So
true. That's
I would agree with your motion, but I would clarify it to add that we're going for the temporary installation and in the proposed location.
And I would like to also add that it would be in 2027. It's not going to happen this year.
Why?
Why?
Well,
We have this public art till December. And we're going to have an event. And there are things at the South Knoll right now, isn't it? There are some signs there.
But they're
So we're
not.
gonna add this.
We can take it along and see where it ends, how it ends.
Yeah, can we not stipulate a date
So that-
Yeah, I
and
would-
explore?
Yeah.
The
the calendar.
timing and the installation and all of that, but
I,
I'm in support of it. I think
The
it's
donor may need a certain calendar year. for
Yeah.
Donation.
Yeah, exactly.
depending.
I believe
I'm
our
flexible on that.
artist laureate has few words to say. Please.
Can you come to the microphone and?
There is
ask
no
that-
microphone.
Here, you can talk it.
Keep going. We can share. That's okay.
Well, I've spoken with Nikki as well.
Can you
and-
introduce yourself?
Oh, my name's Krista Grunewald. I'm the artist laureate here in Tiburon. I was even concerned about materials becoming more expensive, just with what's happening in the world right now. So, and this donor that came, but because the last few months have already been delayed, I don't know that it would be actually possible for her to do it this year any longer. I mean, I mean, if you look at the timeline,
That's true. It's
and
relatively
it's
true.
not just you guys approving, like to your point, it still needs to go through open spaces and
Yeah, she has a point.
and the town.
To be.
Let's-
So the timeline right now, we're just kind of losing this opportunity. I thought it
Mhm.
was a huge community endorsement that someone in the town came forward with this kind of money. I think our community really wants this kind of
Amazing.
magic and an installation. I would actually argue we want it at the ferry building. We want to tell San Francisco, hey, we have these things going along the waterfront. Bring your people across in the boats. You know, it could be a great opportunity to create
mean-
that
I
connection.
mean, we can certainly present
It's good.
to post. You know, I mean, I think the line of the process goes first to post and then to the town council. I think temporary is definitely doable.
Doable.
Permanent requires more time and a process, as we had discussed in the last meeting.
I think the
Um,
cost difference, she initially tried
minimal.
trying to make it less
Yeah.
expensive, even with the materials for temporary.
Right.
But because there's a donor who wants
Right.
to be something that will last,
Right.
And-
that's the cost difference.
And even if the donor doesn't cover that, I mean, I looked at it, it's like $7,000. It's not a big difference. I mean, you know, it's something that we could probably, you know, make up if we needed to, if we got to that permanent. But I think it's okay to have a option A and an option B that we bring to post
Yeah.
and see, you know, what they have to say. I fully support this project as well. And I think, yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's literally a bird in the hand.
I
So,
support
you know,
that.
we should definitely move forward with it. I mean, I think my one question is, you know, for temporary, she says, total, what is the you know, the installation? It takes about 8 to 14 weeks. So
She
moving,
has to produce.
Right,
it all.
right, she has to
It's
do it all.
Gonna take a few months, and I
Mhm.
think at this point, she wouldn't even be able to start until September, October, even if.
well, we could get it's possible that we could get the approvals before September or by then.
Well,
Mhm.
I even love to budget in a line item for the lighting, because I think that even the lighting of this piece will be
Lighting would
so
be
magical
great.
for the community at
My
night.
question is for temporary, where does it say how long it is up for? I did. Okay, that's great. Well, that's wonderful then. I mean, I think we should definitely
Let's vote it in and.
vote it in, as you said,
Mhm.
Trish. You made a motion, right?
Yes.
I have one more
An
question.
emotion and
So,
I
in terms of
seconded.
The ferry option, is that under post? Is that
Mhm.
part of
Yeah.
there? Okay, just to be sure. Okay.
That one spot on shoreline.
That's what I
right there.
wanted to know.
Yeah.
Well, they oversee the whole park, but I think that Knoll is probably the least
Intrusive for the.
controversial.
Exactly.
For the
That's right,
homeowners
yeah.
association. And I can also say that I know I have family who live right there in one of those front buildings, and I'm happy to talk to them about it as well and kind of gauge the temperature. But I think, Trish, do you want to repeat your motion so we
Yeah.
can move forward?
I move that we vote to endorse this installation with the location and duration to be determined and any additional costs to be provided, such as lighting, to be folded in, and that we move to expedite pending the calendar to the next step.
I second.
Second it.
We all second.
All second it.
Everybody second.
I'll get Azita's second on that one.
Also an agreement.
Um, and I'm looking for public comment. We've had one, seeing none online. So, all in favor?
I,
Hey,
Robust, unanimous
That was
pass.
good.
I like
Yeah,
it.
that was
gorgeous.
vast,
Beautiful
robust
project.
support.
How can you turn it down?
Yeah, yeah. And thank you for your advocacy, Krista. We like your input as the artist laureate.
It's an incredible piece.
I mean,
What they
honestly, that's the
donate
kind
is
of thing
very
that people will come
important.
from all over to see.
The donor,
No, that's what I'm
the
saying.
donor helps a lot.
All right, you guys, we're not done yet. I'm gonna read the calendar and then we can, then
Calendar.
Chair Gupta can adjourn. Tomorrow Tyler Willis is installing his hanger upper is
I will be here tomorrow afternoon.
Liz and
He
the
will be at
installer
work.
will be here.
Do you need help?
If you're around, I'll be here like after 1:30. He has an installer,
He does.
Yeah.
What time is he coming?
between 9:30 and 10.
Great.
And then we talked about 4th of July on Main Street, which is gonna be super duper fun. Tyler Willis's opening reception is Tuesday, July 14th from 6 to 8 upstairs. All are welcome and encouraged to attend. The next regular meeting is July 28th. Does that still work with everyone's travel schedules? Can I get
I
it?
won't be there.
Okay, so no Azita. I won't set up your little name.
Thank you.
Everyone else?
Yes.
Looking good.
Okay. And then
It's-
looking way far ahead, August 23rd is the next Landmarks concert, Charlie Torch at Old St. Hilary's. And now you may do what you need to do.
And with that, we close the June 30th meeting, special meeting. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.